Hey everybody, I wanted to post a video. I've talked about it a little bit in some of my vlogs that haven't gone up yet, but I felt it was important to get it out there now. So everybody knows what's going on in the world, and I didn't want to edit this video. I just wanted to put it up there, so I'm having an unlisted live so I can just record it and post it. I'm not one that really cares if I lose subscribers or followers. I love the subscribers and followers that I have, but if they no longer wish to follow me, then I'm also fine with that, because I'm a firm believer in doing what makes you happy, doing what you want, and I don't want people to follow me if they don't like me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I just wanted to share how I feel and be a voice with the small platform that I do have. It is not a very large platform, but I feel that it is very important to share this message with the platform that I do have. So if you do not follow me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, then you have no idea where I stand on this. If you follow me there, then you already know. I am a big believer in the Black Lives Matter movement. It's not anything new. I've always felt this way. However, I was silent because I I I am a white woman. I am a privileged white woman in that sense, where it's not something that's every day pressing in my mind. It's not something that I daily have to think about. And unfortunately, there are so many people in this world that don't have that option. And that is why it is so extremely important for people with any sort of platform or not, for anybody to make sure they are sharing information, sharing resources, sharing support, just to let people know that you support them. It is so extremely important right now for anybody to do that. The Black Lives Matter movement is something that has been around. I mean, it's not new, but right now it's huge. It's huge as in the sense that every state in the United States is having protests right now and marches, and there's people for it, there's people against it. Even outside of the United States, in other countries, I think 11 different countries or 17 different countries, there are marches and protests, peaceful protests, all kinds of things going on right now. And that is huge. This is history. This is something that our kids will have to learn about in their history books. This is something that I hope makes a change. And I'm trying to fight back tears right now. I have been asked why I am constantly watching all the protests, and all I'm talking about on Twitter is the movement and the protests, and they're like, "Oh, isn't that going to just like bring you down and put you in a bad mood?" I don't care if it brings me down and puts me in a bad mood. Like, that's not the point. Think about the people who have to live this every day. If I have to be uncomfortable for a minute or an hour watching a protest, who cares? Like, I need to learn and take this in and see the things that are happening all over the world. And I'm completely I'm not it doesn't I'm not sad when I watch these protests. I'm empowered, and I feel so proud of the people out there. And If I didn't have 4 kids and nobody to stay home with my kids and I didn't have to go back to work, I would be out there with them, standing by their side. But I can't, and I want to be by their side somehow. So this is my way. I want to share my um, platform, and I want everybody in the comments, if you have resources, please post them. If the comment gets blocked, I will approve it. It might go into a spam section. If you have a resource, if you have a reputable GoFundMe account for these places, please post it. I will verify that it is reputable, and I will approve the comment. I want to help as many people as I can. I wish I had all the money in the world to make the donations to all these different charities. I did make a donation to George Floyd's memorial GoFundMe page. It was small, but I mean, I and I know that there's going to be people out there that are not going to agree with me, and they're going to say that I'm only making this video because everybody else made it. But if you know me, then you know that this is something that has been really weighing on me. And just let me tell you a little story. When this whole thing started, I didn't even know about it the first 2 days. I was in my own head about going back to work, and I was freaking out about that. And I came across the video on Facebook, and I didn't know what it was. I just started watching it, and my son was sitting next to me. And I started watching it, and I slowly started realizing what was happening. And he said to me, "Mom, why won't that cop take his knee off of his neck? He can't breathe." And I realized in that moment what was happening, and I was in shock, and I could not give my son a reason. I could not give him an answer as to why that was happening. And unfortunately, that is something that so many people in the world are faced with every single day. And in that moment, it really hit me that I've never had to worry about things like that, you know? And I'm sorry if you hear noise in the background. My dog just brought me his bone and he wants me to hold it. But I've never had to deal with things like that. And it's heartbreaking. And I can feel so much pain from so many people that I know and I talk to, and I just think it's so important that we share as much as we can and do whatever we can to stand side by side and support one another. And if you have never been to my channel, I am a huge advocate of supporting one another. I don't care your race, your gender, your religion, any of that. I am all for supporting each other and keeping the negative out of it. My daughter said to me, and I thought it was an amazing thing to say, she said, "Mom, you have 4 kids, right?" "Yeah." "Okay. If one of us got hurt, would you give us all a Band-Aid?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, you had to give the Band-Aid to the one that mattered, the one that needed your love and your support at that time, right?" "Yeah." "Okay, that's why Black Lives Matter. Of course, all lives matter. But at that point in time, they need our help. For that to come from a child is so incredible. And it gives me hope that there will be changes in the world. And until then, we all need to share as much as we can and support one another. You guys, we have to support one another. And if this is something that makes you uncomfortable, good. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Be afraid of what will happen if you don't get over yourself being uncomfortable and you don't say something and speak up. Because you never know whose mind you could change. And you might say, oh, it's impossible to change anybody's mind. But that's not true. Sharing information and maybe changing somebody's mind is so important right now. So I'm going to end this. I have to get ready for a dentist appointment for my son. But if you're here with me, give it a thumbs up, comment, a heart, and I will see you guys in the next one.